Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're going to be diving into Surah Al-Humazah. It's the 104th chapter of the Quran, and we've got some really interesting tafsir to dig into, as well as authentic narrations from the Prophet Muhammad and the Imams.
Really rich material to work with.
Oh, yeah. So much to unpack.
Yeah.
But I guess our mission here is to really understand the core messages of this surah and how it applies to our lives today.
Yeah, and I think what's so fascinating about Surah Al-Humazah is how it tackles these really universal issues. You know, we're talking about arrogance, backbiting, this obsession with wealth. These aren't just problems that people face in the 7th century Makkah.
Right.
I mean, these are things that we grapple with every single day.
Totally. It feels so timely, even though it was revealed centuries ago. And it starts off so strong, doesn't it? That opening verse, woe to every slanderer and backbiter. It just grabs your attention right away.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know,
Sure.
It makes you think, what exactly do those words mean? Humasa and Lumazah. They sound pretty intense.
They are, and they have very specific meanings. So Humazah is all about using actions to mock or belittle someone.
Right.
So think like the pointed finger or the sly wink, you know, those little things. Whereas Lumazah is that verbal attack. So the insults, the gossip spread behind someone's back. And it's interesting how the surah condemns both of them.
Yeah.
Right? It really highlights how respecting human dignity is about our actions, indeed our words.
It's like a reminder that even a seemingly harmless gesture can carry a lot of weight. And it makes me think about that hadith from the Prophet Muhammad, where he says, the worst among people are those who spread gossip, sow discord, and defame others. You know, with social media and the internet these days, it's so easy to fall into those traps.
Oh, it's everywhere.
Right. It's like we need to be extra vigilant nowadays.
Absolutely. And then the surah goes on to address those who hoard wealth, believing that it's going to make them invincible, you know. And this is something that we see throughout the Quran, actually, this idea that wealth isn't inherently evil. But the problem comes when it fuels this arrogance and distracts us from our connection with Allah.
Speaking of wealth, the story of Qarun from Surah Al-Qasas always comes to mind. You know, he had it all.
Yeah.
But he used his wealth to oppress others. And just completely forgot about God.
Yeah.
Which ultimately led to his downfall.
Yeah.
It's a powerful reminder of what can happen when wealth becomes our sole focus.
Yeah. It's a really stark example. And then, you know, in verses 4 to 7, we get this incredibly vivid description of hellfire called Al-Hutama, which means the crusher. And what's really striking here is that the punishment is described as fire specifically targeting the heart, the seed of pride and malice.
That's pretty intense imagery.
It is. It's like this physical manifestation of this internal struggle that we all face, you know? On the surface, we might appear calm and collected, but inside we're battling all these negative emotions. And this image of fire consuming the heart, it's just this powerful reminder of the damage that these emotions can inflict, not just on ourselves, but on those around us as well.
Totally. It makes you wonder how much of our daily stress and anxiety comes from harboring these negative feelings.
Yeah.
You know? Like, are we, in a sense, adding fuel to that internal fire without even realizing it?
It's a question worth pondering for sure. And then to really drive this point home, verses 8 to 9 describe the gates of hell being bolted shut, trapping those who are consumed by their vices. It's like they've built their own prison walls through their actions.
And this idea of the heart being stained by sin is something that's echoed in other parts of the Quran too, right?
Yeah.
Like in Surah Al-Mutaffifin.
Precisely. The Quran repeatedly connects our inner state with our ultimate fate. So while Surah Al-Humazah might seem like it's focused on punishment, I think it's actually trying to do something else. It's trying to get us to really examine ourselves, to hold up a mirror and confront our own flaws before it's too late.
So it's like a wake-up call, a jolt to our system, urging us to change course before we go too far down the wrong path.
Yeah.
You know? It makes you think, what are the things that we need to be paying attention to? What kind of internal house cleaning do we need to do?
It's all about that inner work.
Yeah.
You know, that self-reflection.
Yeah, for sure.
That's where it starts.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that old saying, cleanliness is next to godliness. But in this case, it's about the cleanliness of our hearts.
Right.
You know? And the beauty of the Quran is that it doesn't just point out the problem, it also offers solutions. So the Prophet Muhammad and Imam Jafar al-Sadiq spoke about the rewards associated with reciting Surah Al-Humazah, including protection from poverty.
So there's this spiritual dimension.
Yeah.
But it's also connected to our actions in the real world.
Right.
Like how we use our wealth and treat others.
Exactly. Surah Al-Humazah reminds us to be mindful of how we use our resources. It's not about living in poverty, but rather about using our wealth responsibly, to help those in need, to uplift our communities, to make a positive impact on the world.
It's almost like it's challenging us to redefine what success looks like.
Yeah.
Instead of just measuring it by our bank accounts, it's about the good we do with what we've been given. And it reminds me of something you mentioned earlier about respecting human dignity. It's not just about avoiding backbiting and mockery, but proactively seeking ways to honor and uplift others.
And that ties in perfectly with another powerful analogy in the Quran. In Surah Al-Hujurat, backbiting is likened to consuming the flesh of your own brother.
Wow.
It really makes you stop and think about the damage that gossip can inflict. It's like we're devouring each other's reputations bit by bit.
It's a chilling thought, isn't it? And it seems even more relevant today when you consider how easily negativity can spread online. It's like a virus that can quickly infect an entire community. And on that note, the Quran repeatedly cautions against arrogance and materialism. I remember reading Surah Al-Adiyat, where it says, "Indeed, mankind is ungrateful to his Lord and loves wealth intensely."
It's a recurring theme because it's such a fundamental human struggle, you know? Surah Al-Humazah brings it to the forefront in a way that's impossible to ignore. Sometimes I think the warnings in the surah can seem quite harsh, but then I remember that it's all coming from a place of love and concern. It's like a parent scolding a child because they want what's best for them.
I see what you mean. It's not about punishment for its own sake, but about helping us course correct, to steer clear of danger. It's like a lighthouse warning ships away from rocky shores. But it's not just about avoiding negative consequences, is it? There's also a positive aspect to it, this idea of actively cultivating good qualities.
Absolutely. It's about purifying our intentions, making a conscious effort to choose kindness over cruelty, generosity over greed, humility over arrogance. And I think that's where the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad and the Imams come in. They offer practical guidance on how to do just that.
So it's about moving beyond just avoiding the bad and actively pursuing the good. That makes a lot of sense. But let's be honest, that's easier said than done right. Life is full of temptations, and it's easy to get caught up in the rat race.
It's definitely a challenge. But the surah reminds us that we have a choice. We can be consumed by our desires, or we can choose to rise above them.
But how do we make that choice when we're bombarded with messages that tell us to accumulate more, achieve more, be more? It can feel overwhelming sometimes.
It absolutely can. And that's why it's crucial to have a strong spiritual foundation, to remind ourselves what truly matters. You know, Surah Al-Humazah, I believe, is trying to cut through all the noise and get to the heart of the matter. It's saying, hey, pay attention. This is what really matters. Your character, your actions, the impact you have on the world.
It's a powerful reminder that true wealth isn't about what we possess, but about the state of our hearts. And it's something we all need to hear, regardless of our background or beliefs.
You hit the nail on the head. It's about recognizing that inner richness, that spiritual abundance, is far more valuable than any material possession.
And I think that's one of the beautiful things about the Quran. It speaks to the human condition in a way that transcends time and culture.
I completely agree. And you know what's interesting is how Surah Al-Humazah isn't just about individual actions. It also speaks to the impact our choices have on society as a whole.
What do you mean by that?
Well, think about it. When arrogance, backbiting, and the pursuit of wealth become dominant forces in a society, what happens? Trust erodes, compassion dwindles, and we become more isolated from one another. It's like a social fabric fraying at the seams.
So it's not just about personal salvation. It's about contributing to a healthier, more harmonious world.
Exactly. When we work on purifying our own hearts, on letting go of negative tendencies, it naturally ripples outward into our relationships, our communities, and the world around us.
It's like the butterfly effect. Even small acts of kindness and compassion can have a far-reaching impact.
Precisely. And that's why Surah Al-Humazah, despite its warnings, is ultimately a message of hope. It's reminding us that we have the power to create positive change within ourselves and in the world around us.
It's a call to action, isn't it? To be more mindful of our thoughts, words, and actions, and to strive to live in a way that benefits not just ourselves, but everyone around us.
Yes, it's about recognizing that our lives are interconnected and that our actions have consequences that extend far beyond ourselves. It's about making choices that uplift and empower, rather than tear down and diminish.
It's about remembering that we're all in this together, and that the pursuit of a just and compassionate world requires us to be the change we want to see.
Beautifully said. And that brings us to another crucial point. How do we actually apply these teachings to our daily lives? It's all well and good to talk about purifying our hearts and using our wealth responsibly. But how do we translate that into concrete actions?
That's a great question. It can feel daunting, especially when we're faced with so many challenges and distractions. Where do we even begin?
I think the first step is cultivating self-awareness, paying attention to our thoughts, words, and actions. It's about taking a step back and asking ourselves, am I engaging in any of the behaviors Surah Al-Humazah condemns? Am I allowing arrogance, greed, or envy to take root in my heart? It's about being brutally honest with ourselves.
So it's like holding up that mirror we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
And really taking a good, hard look at what we see.
Exactly. And once we've identified areas where we need to improve, we can start making small changes. It's not about trying to overhaul our entire lives overnight, but about taking small, consistent steps in the right direction.
So just setting realistic goals and focusing on progress, not perfection.
Absolutely. And it's about remembering that change is a journey, not a destination. There will be setbacks and challenges along the way, but the key is to keep striving, to keep learning, and to keep growing.
And to be patient with ourselves. We're all works in progress.
Exactly. We need to approach this journey with compassion and understanding, both for ourselves and for others.
It's like we're all on this path together, supporting and encouraging each other along the way.
And celebrating each other's successes, big and small.
So it's not about judgment or condemnation, but about creating a space where we can all learn and grow together.
You got it. And that's the beauty of Surah Al-Humazah. It's a reminder that even in the midst of warnings and condemnations, there's always hope for redemption, growth, and transformation.
It's a reminder that we all have the potential to be better, to do better, to create a better world.
And that potential is always within reach, no matter how far we may have strayed.
That's such a powerful and inspiring message. It gives me a renewed sense of hope and motivation to keep striving.
Me too. And I think that's what makes this surah so relevant to our lives even today. It's a timeless call to action, a reminder that the journey of self-improvement is ongoing, and that the rewards are worth the effort.
It's a reminder that we all have a role to play in creating a more just and compassionate world. It really is. It's like Surah Al-Humazah is giving us this roadmap, not just for personal growth, but for building a better society as a whole.
And then that's the beauty of the Quran, right? It speaks to both the individual and the collective. So it's about cultivating inner peace, but also contributing to a more just and harmonious world.
And that's what I think makes this deep dive so fascinating. We started with this seemingly simple surah, just 9 verses, but we've uncovered all these layers of meaning and relevance to our lives today.
It's amazing, isn't it, how these ancient words can still speak to us so powerfully across centuries and cultures.
It really is. It's a testament to the enduring wisdom of the Quran. So as we wrap up, is there anything else about Surah Al-Humazah that you think our listeners should keep in mind? Any final takeaways?
I think it's important to remember that Surah Al-Humazah isn't just about doom and gloom. Yes, it contains strong warnings, but it also offers this really profound message of hope and transformation.
Yeah, you're right. It's not just about the punishment awaiting wrongdoers. It's about the potential for change, for growth, for redemption.
Exactly. It's a reminder that we have the power to choose a different path, to break free from the grip of those negative tendencies, and cultivate qualities that uplift and empower. And it's never too late to start that journey.
It's a powerful message that resonates with me deeply. So to our listener, I encourage you to take some time to reflect on Surah Al-Humazah, see what insights you can glean from it, and how you can apply its wisdom to your own life. And remember, the journey of self-improvement is ongoing. Be patient with yourself. Keep learning. Keep striving to be the best version of yourself. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll catch you next time.